The Saudi Arabia Pro League's top January transfer targets. The future of football? Hey football lovers, it seems that we're about to start getting a whole new form of trill from the game, as the Saudi Pro League is quickly becoming quite a sensation in the football world. Already, the Saudi Pro League has witnessed a massive influx of big-name players in recent months, particularly during the 2023 summer transfer window, taking on some of your favorite players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Sadio Mane, Neymar, and Roberto Firmino. It seems that some of these players are looking for opportunities for the next big paycheck, but they certainly have more stake in helping make the league more popular among football lovers. Well, in this episode, we'd like to take you through 11 of the potential targets that Saudi might be going for this January in their hunt. What better place to start than with Mohamed Salah, who has been chased by various Saudi clubs. Outside the player's skill in the game, his affiliation with Islam seems to be another factor that will make it most likely for the Saudi Pro League clubs to want to sign him. He currently plays for Liverpool, and there was already a bid of up to $150 million for the player, which the club had turned down. So it's quite likely that we will be seeing a lot more bids by January at a higher cost, and the man is basically a role model for Muslims. We all wait eagerly for the Saudi club that will be able to grab this player, and hopefully his talent will be able to shine with the team. The Saudi pro teams might also just have a shot at signing Raphael Varane. The highly rated French defender has faced challenges adapting to life under Erik ten Hag at Manchester United, which has resulted in quite a friction between the two. While his reputation as a World Cup winner and Champions League champion precedes him, his time at Old Trafford hasn't been as smooth as many expected. Erik ten Hag's preferred system, which utilizes a high defensive line, doesn't necessarily suit Varane's strengths. Lisandro Martinez, his central defensive partner, thrives in this system, leaving Varane exposed at times. At a time like this, accompanied by the Saudi team's financial power, they might just be able to take the player from United, and this might be the saving grace that the player will need to rediscover himself. Casemiro, the Manchester United defensive midfielder, seems to be another likely target that will fall in the scope of the Saudi teams. He's been spectacular in the previous season for Manchester and seems like a player that Manchester United won't be willing to let go of that easily. But every good journey will always come to an end, as it seems that the player is finally starting to bow to aging at 31, making him less effective than he previously was on the pitch. Joining the Saudi team at this moment might just be the best decision for Casemiro and United, as they could really profit very much from the trade before Casemiro becomes ineffective. It'll be more of a win-win situation, as the player might still have enough juice left in him for Saudi. And as long as the friction between United players and Ten Hag goes, Jadon Sancho also features in this scene and is not featured for United since August as a result. Consequently, many see him as another player who has been linked with a move to the Saudi Pro League. He's fallen out with the manager and is unlikely to play for United again. Well, everything seemed to go south after Sancho put out a tweet alleging that there might be more to him being sidelined. Anyway, Saudi might just cash in on this opportunity and sign the player. Hopefully, that could be all he needs to get his head back in the game. Another possible signing that we would see will be Thomas Partey, the Arsenal midfielder. Partey is a world-class midfielder with experience playing at the highest level for Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. He's proven himself in the Champions League, Premier League, and La Liga, and he brings a winning mentality and big game experience to any team. In addition, the player recently converted to Islam. As a way to solidify his stand in the religion, he might decide to join the Saudi Pro League. Although some would say that the player wasn't after all on the right side of his current team, Arsenal, that won't be entirely true. The problem that Partey has had with the club stems mainly from inconsistencies that could be attributed to his injuries. Well, we stay poised to see what becomes of this player, whether he will start to fade away or take a shot at redemption with the Saudi team. We should also watch out for Anthony Martial. The Saudi pro teams might just sweep in any time for the player, and Man United might just be in the position to oblige. Martial's contract with United is due for termination at the end of the season, and his lack of performance recently might just see that the team lets him go. His lack of performance has been largely due to injuries, and the Saudi teams might just have their eyes on popularizing their league at the moment than performance. So by the end of the season, there might be nothing restricting the transfer, and it might be in the best interest of the player. Maybe a new team will help him find his confidence and stand one more. The Saudi Pro League might also be warming up to receive one of Madrid's finest, Luka Modric. At 38 years old, Modric has naturally seen his playing time decreased at Madrid, starting just 3 La Liga games so far this season. This has led to some frustration and speculation about his future. His contract with his current club terminates at the end of the season, and his manager has made hints that the player might just be up for grabs by then. If the competition in Madrid is too heated for the player, especially due to his age, it might just be the right decision to find a place where he could find himself once more. Whatever the case, all will be made clear at the end of the season. Again, Thomas Müller, the Bayern Munich midfielder, might also be available for grabs by the end of the season due to the same reason as Modric. Many of these players seem to think that their skills are being downplayed, and seeking a place where they will be appreciated always seems like the rational next step. Saudi seems to be a place for Thomas Müller to do just that, and no doubt there will also be room for the player to make some good money before retirement. So Bayern might just take the opportunity and make this a win-win situation and sign out the player while they still can. You know who else Saudi might be coming after? That should be Lazio's Luis Alberto. Luis Alberto, the Lazio attacking midfielder, has already been linked with a move to the Saudi Pro League. One club in Saudi, al-Nassr, has already shown interest in buying the player over to their team. Lazio might be reluctant to let go of Luis Alberto, especially considering his importance to the team. They might demand a significant transfer fee, potentially making the deal difficult for Saudi clubs. But if al-Nassr is bent on getting the player, there might be little Lazio can do to stop that. Saudi seems to have found a way to motivate all these star players to come over to their teams, and their purchasing power seems to be at the top of the list. And Saudi isn't just likely to get people who are looking to rediscover themselves, they also have a shot at some of the hot players in the game at the moment. Take for instance David De Gea, the former Manchester United goalkeeper. His switch is most likely to be easier than the others on this list, as he is without a club at the moment. He has been exploring as a free agent and has been linked with a move to the Saudi Pro League. With the juicy offers that come from Saudi, we might not have to look for too long before the expected happens. To close the list, a switch to Saudi might just be what some players like Presnel Kimpembe need at the moment. There is likely to be less competition in the Saudi pro teams, and it's just what might serve Kimpembe for now, given that he has been unable to play since February due to injury. Getting back on the heated stage, where much pressure is required, might not just be the right decision for the player at the moment. Even there have been some obvious declines on the side of the player before the injury. So, if not given time to build up again, the player might not be able to carry as he's used to. At 28, he still has room to work on himself and bounce back, and Saudi seems to be ready to provide the environment and finances for that. A move to the Middle East could be a good option for him. Outside the financial motivation, giving room for players to come and rediscover themselves might just be another factor that'll attract players to the Saudi teams. The competition doesn't seem to be that heated at the moment. We would like to hear some other players that you think Saudi will be gunning for in the comments. But if we're going to be sure, then we will just have to wait and see how the selection goes when it happens. Be sure to get more updates from the channel, and we will love to have you back on the next episode.